I want to talk a little bit about your business continuity plan. And the first thing I always ask on this is, what would you do if your important SQL servers were gone? I know you're thinking, if I ask you what's the most important SQL server in your infrastructure, you can probably point out one or two of them, and those are the most critical ones, and things would be really bad if they weren't there. Well, the next question I ask is, do you have a plan? If something happens and those servers 10 minutes from now were completely gone, that's where we say knock on wood, hopefully that doesn't happen, but if those servers were completely gone, do you have a plan for how you're going to continue running business with those servers gone? Now, some people might say, well, okay, that is my most important server, but we can run the business fine without that. Okay, if that's the case, don't worry about this. You don't need, your SQL servers don't fit into your business continuity plan because they're not needed. But if that's something that your SQL server is so important that business cannot operate without it, you better have a plan for how you're going to get to a recovery of some kind. Now, I'm going to share a story about one of our clients. I'm not going to share any names, of course, but client started working with us earlier this year. So they've just been a few months they've been on board with us on our managed services process. One of their biggest concerns when they started working with us was business continuity. So in the very first month, we worked with them to get their backups in place to make sure that worst case scenario, if they lost their server, we had backup somewhere they could do a solid restore from. Okay, that's a great step one, business continuity. Then we went further and we got to the point that we started talking about a secondary server. Can we have a server at another data center? Can we have a server in the cloud, AWS or Azure or someplace like that? And can we somehow get all the data synchronizing over to that server for you? And with this client, a month and a half ago, we started on that process. We started helping them get the servers built out and all that. And then last week, they had a disaster. One of their primary servers failed, and we were about halfway through that process of getting everything to that cloud server with log shipping. But we had everything on the network, and they called me at 5:45 in the morning my time. We jumped on it immediately, and it was about 2 to 2.5 hours before their full system was up and running again, restored from backup. Now, I say we were about halfway through the process. We finished the rest of that process over the next couple of days, and now if that same thing happens again and they call me on that, we can get that running in under 10 minutes using, in this case, specifically SQL Server log shipping. Some people use availability groups. We work with that with other clients. Some people use clustering. Some people use replication. Lots of different ways of doing it. But the point is, this was a client that had business continuity plans. We were able to get them covered to enough that they were able to continue running their business and survive. Where had this not been in place at the time that happened, it would have been pretty bad for them. So that's something, it's just part of what we do. And anybody who knows me and how we work with our managed service customers, you'll know that I'm always pushing for more backups, better redundancy, so that when these things happen, we have an option for you. So that kind of leads into the business continuity self-assessment. Go to that website, stedman.us/continuity, fill out the form, you'll get an email report that shows you everything you need to know, well, not everything, but a lot about business continuity, offer suggestions and tips and areas you need help in order to improve your overall business continuity.